He's on his way down now. Testing low and test.
Good to see you, brother. Here come the professionals. We have a catch up at some point, eh? Lovely work, man. What sort of teams on these guys, no? Ellerslie under who?
Once again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, teams are ready to come on, and they'll be coming on the field very shortly to commence our first match of the day, the Under-16 Grand Final.
Kia ora and welcome to Mount Smart number 2 for a big day of finals and semi-finals action from Auckland Rugby League's competitions. My name's Dale Husband, very pleased to have your company. Beside me, the young fella Lewin Husband as well, and we're looking forward to bringing you the action here. First up this morning and into the afternoon with the Under-16 Auckland Rugby League finals. It features Otahuhu up against the Ellerslie Eagles, and these two teams, of course, looking forward to holding the trophy aloft in an hour or so's time. It's great to have you along, these two very proud clubs, and great to see the Ellerslie Eagles in there. The Otahuhu Leopards, well, they've fielded strong teams across the grades for many, many years, and they, of course, are in the distinctive light blue strip. Running from left to right, it's the Leopards out first up. Taufalavaka Peter CK Ngaue Taunga Ataua, and then the front row of Alfea covers Louis Toiava, Tapa Palu and Meti. And on the interchange bench, Lewin?
Yes, we have Manase Whakaosilea, Charles Laumape, obviously a whanaunga to Ngani Laumape, Setala and Simon Collins, coached by David Taunga.
Their opponents today, the Ellerslie Eagles, line out this way. Leka Tupou is the prop forward alongside Glamuzina with Kalepo in jersey number 9. Tuilesu and Malama in the second row with Pese at the back. Their halves today, Tuua and Sasangi, and out wide, Tuipulotu, Kamu, Wolf, Talakai, Tepulolo. Their bench today is Willow, Falefa, Gribble and Clayton. So an overcast day in Auckland City for today's final, and great to see family and friends in the stands. Of course, we're very conscious that this broadcast able to be taken right throughout New Zealand and indeed across the world as we just await referees' orders. And we're about to get underway here with the Under-16 Auckland Rugby League Grand Final of 2017. And the ball is punched deep. Of course, both teams would be very eager. Perhaps a semi-sleepless night for some. This is what rugby league's all about. You work all year to make your way into the final, and looking forward to a good start from these young men today, Lewin.
That's right, and let's remind ourselves that they're only 16 or 15 years of age. A lot of these boys have had successes already, being exposed to the New Zealand Residents Camp, the elite camp that's been held in Cambridge earlier this year. Also Counties Manukau reps, and a few are even signed with the Warriors and some of the NRL clubs already.
Well, we'll get to them too as the game unfolds, and great to have your observations throughout the course of the next hour or so. And it's Otahuhu with the football now, and out to Sam Taunga, who launches it deep. It's taken about 12 metres out on the far side there by Antonio Wolf, and he's wrapped up too as 3 Otahuhu defenders are quickly upon him. The Ellerslie Eagles, of course, a club in transition somewhat because of the changing demography of the areas that they represent, but it's good to see the 16s have made it through to the final. They're coached by Joe Tapuola and Joe Kalepo, and it's a penalty to them. It'll be taken by Sasangi, who'll kick towards the southern touchline. We're broadcasting on the northern touchline with the field really that runs east to west here, Mount Smart number 2, and as you can see, the home of Auckland Athletics as well. And it's out to Sasangi, first the receiver. A settling run here through the middle for Glamazina. We play the ball, and we'll get familiar with some of these players. Like you, it's the first time for many of us to see these players as well. This is Tepulolo with it just over the halfway line, dished up by Kalepo, who's in the headgear to the back row. Pese now, and Caleb to play it midway between the 40 and 50. Leopards into the ground.
Yeah, both teams just finding their feet. That was a nice completed set there from the Ellerslie Eagles. Done really well to put a bit of pressure on their fullback there, Sokai Taufa, and find him pushed into touch.
I don't know if he went to touch. I think he got drilled into the in goal. So it was oh no, I'm sorry. You're quite right. It was pushed into touch. Initially, I thought that that he was into the in goal, very skinny in goals as well. And we've got Corey Rossell working with us sideline today, so we'll welcome him to our broadcast. And of course, Corey's been calling a lot of the Fox Memorial action with Troy Hardy as well through the year. Great to have you involved on the sideline mahi throughout the course of the morning and afternoon. Corey, a warm welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dale. Pretty good conditions for footy down here.
Hang on a second, mate. We'll go straight for the first try. And it's the number 13, the back rower. That was as simple as. And so Pese gets the first try in just a minute or two into the game. And we'll come back to you now, Corey. What did you make of that? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, look, first time down here, obviously, for Ellerslie. Had a good kick chase earlier, and they've found some points on the end of it. So perfect start there for Ellerslie.
That's right, it's not a good sign of the line defence of the Otahuhu Leopards. Surprisingly, of such a huge junior club, this is the only team that has made the championship grand final. Out of the 30 or so teams that the junior Otahuhu Rugby League Club has, the under-16s are the only team that have made it to the big dance.
Pretty straightforward conversion here for Tepulolo. And really, the Otahu Leopards, they've gone into a huddle, as they should too, because that was a soft try. And they won't be getting the trophy if they're going to allow them in that easy. But credit where it's due. The Ellerslie squad put in a good chase as well, got themselves into good field position. They're up by 6-0. That try scored after 5 minutes. So a good start here for the Eagles, as the Otahu Leopards come back to centre field. Great to have you along here. Now here's the kickoff, and it is deep, taken there by the classy standoff, Sasangi.
Use on! Good tackle, stand now. Hold, go.
6-0, Eagles with it. Well, they don't need to get too expansive early on in the set, early in the game as well. So a lot of these young men just want to get the ball in hand, take it forward and get into the grind. That's Etoile Louis Toiava, who is the try scorer out to the second row. Tanchali Malama, he's the ground. He'll be aided and abetted here by Christian Tupolotu. Little shuffle on to Tupo, the big prop forward. And he's just over the halfway line. Dummy half, Kalepo has a look left, shuffles it onto the right to Ua. Getting another kick deep too, and punching into the corners. Smart play at the back there is Ngue. And Ngue is nailed, and a good chase as well. So Ellerslie full of running and in control of the game here after 5.5 minutes, up by 1 try. But it's the skillful nature of their control of the sets that deserves most credit at this early stage of the game.
Yes, Dale, a well-structured set once again, which was familiar to the initial set that led to the sort of evolution of the first try. So it's good signs that the half for the Ellerslie Eagles has the mind of territory and knows how to complete a set well.
There's the kick deep, and again it'll go to the 5. He's shown some class. Wolf back now to Tepu Lolo. And the fullback getting involved early. Sideline Corey, Ellerslie looking good.
Yeah, you mentioned Conrad Tua, obviously controlling play really well. We saw him in action for Kelston in the Auckland final, the SAS College Rugby League last week. He's having another blinder so far.
Thanks very much, Corey, and we'll remind you of the victors there. In fact, I do know that Kelston couldn't match it with St Paul's in the top side, and Wesley getting up in the lower grade. Another good solid run, and decent defence too from the Leopards as Tupulolo gets a quick play, the ball drilling to the sideline. So smooth play here at the moment by the Ellerslie Eagles, and a replacement early on as well. It seems the number 8 heading towards the sideline. In fact, he's been sent back out there. The team's surprisingly on the northern touchline rather than in front of their crowd. The fans have arrived here. You'll see the ambulance in the background as well. Big ups to the Zambucks. Well, that's the old term for the St John ambulance people. Good crowd on hand as we get a look at the scrum about to be packed down. Slow to get into position at this stage. The Eagles, they're locked and loaded now though. Fed in here by Trent Otawa. And the Leopards with the football now, 22 from their own line.
Yeah, there's a big day at hand. I mean, if you're watching our link at the moment and you're a league fan, there's about 4 more games here happening at Mount Smart Stadium. Over to you, Dad.
Tevita Pita. Pita down the left side. What a run from him. Well, it looked like very little to start with, but Tevita Pita has scorched up the Mount Smart Stadium turf, and the Leopards are in and in a kickable position too. He could be locked up shortly, but what a run down the left edge. The door open for Tevita Pita, and he showed a clean pair of heels as he streaked away down the left edge.
I had the chance to speak with the manager of the Otahu under-16s earlier on, Amy Tonga, and when we crossed over to Tevita Pita, she said that he was from Mangere College. He's a Tongan man, and he has speed to burn. He's also undercover as well. Now he's been exposed with his talents, and he's like Flash.
Well, he certainly had a good little step there and away from Tepu Lolo. A name to watch here.
How did the Glamazina do to try and... He's a prop forward to try and cut him down.
Great run, 60 metres, and a class act down the left side, and one to watch. We'll take the conversion and cross down to you, Corey. Might know a little bit more about this young man. Corey, of course, is a qualified journalist. He writes a lot of the NRL reports. Often if you're looking at the Schick previews and the like for the Warriors games, it'll be Corey's work that you're reading. So he's got a real passion for our local game. This is 10 metres in from the touchline. A rather difficult conversion, and it is waved away. 6-4 is the scoreline, sideline with Corey Rosser.
Yeah, interesting there, Dale. Just as Ellerslie conceded there, they were actually making an interchange, so you wonder if they maybe got caught a little bit unorganised there and were found wanting out on the edge. So interesting times for Ellerslie, and they need to make sure they're well organised around that interchange.
I mentioned, Corey, about the demography of the Ellerslie suburb has changed so what? It's put a bit of pressure on the league club, as many of the smaller families. We had used to have generations ago bigger families, of course, working class families. It's a bit of a gentrified suburb, I suppose, now, Ellerslie, and as such, the code of rugby league perhaps suffering for numbers of young people who are taking up the code.
Yeah, that's right, and obviously Ellerslie's premier team not going so well this year, really struggling for numbers, but it's good to see the junior ranks nice and strong.
Speaking of strong carry here for the Leopards to the 30-metre line, 15 in from the northern touchline, appealing for the quick play the ball. That's some very good D as well from Ellerslie's number 2. That's Talakai. And Otahu being squeezed here by some enthusiastic defence from the Eagles. A determined run this time, but still only picking up 8 or 10 metres. So hats off to the Eagles for some very focused defensive work. Wolf this time loses it. There's a chance on the far side. There's nowhere. Gets hold of the football. The Leopards now 15 metres from the try line. The Eagles scrambling in defence to get back. The Leopards want a quick play of the ball. It's delivered up now. The big second rower was Palu. He comes powering forward. Great D though. The fullback making the tackle. 12 from the line. Darting to the left-hand side goes Covers. Linking up on the outside. Ball to ground. And a knock-on is called by referee Tasker. So credit to Ellerslie. They scrambled in defence, but certainly some good meterage made by the Leopards after that mistake from the failure to take the high ball at the back for the Eagles.
Yeah, I was impressed to see the hooker there, Kea Cuthers, come out of dummy half and show a bit of enthusiasm to take on the short side. But maybe the face ball to his left edge ringer wasn't the best option. Unfortunately, knocking the ball on with a few tackles up their sleeve.
10 metres out from the try line. You're watching live stream of Auckland Rugby League Finals Day. Last week had the privilege of calling some of our young teams' finals. And we've got great admiration for all of these young players. And a penalty for the Eagles. And one of the Eagles injured too in that exchange. He's a bit dusty, getting to his feet now.
The top 2 inches are really important in grand finals, Dale, and obviously they saw an opportunity to drag back the halfback of the Ellerslie Eagles, Comrade Tu'ua, the co-captain. Almost a late sort of infringement there from one of the defenders.
So he'll get some assessment sideline. I guess player welfare is premium. And so we'll kick towards the touchline. Great to have you along here. Of course, technology today allowing us to bring you live stream action here and to our viewers offshore, and there will be many, because all New Zealanders have whānau living in Australia and beyond. I'm sure that our pictures via the Auckland Rugby League website and YouTube available to all. A warm welcome if you've just tuned in. 5 games coming your way, including 2 semi-finals for the Fox Championship. Coming up off the back of this game, it will feature the Howard Hornets and the Mount Albert Lions. And the back of that, of course, the other semi-final has Point Chev, who topped the table in the Fox Championship up against Glenora. The winner there goes straight through to the grand final a fortnight from today. The back rower again with a solid carry.
Stand now!
As Caleb Pesses already scored a try, peeling from dummy half. Kalepo looks down the right edge. This is good play here as the Ellerslie Eagles just try to create something. They find themselves within the 30, so a good area to strike from. Pushing it wide through Sasangi. He'll hold the ball. 5th and final tackle. And he will ask Sasangi to back up slightly. Kalepo goes to the right,
Faces on the inside are good.
off the boot of the fullback. Now with the Leopards, spinning effort from nowhere. And he'll play the ball just right in front of the post, about 10 metres out from the Leopards line as we go sideline with Corey Rosser.
Just confirmation on Conrad Tu'ua. He's in the bin for an HIA, so head injury assessment for Conrad Tu'ua.
Thanks very much, Corey.
To remind our viewers, that's also a free interchange when they go for the medical assessments. The
Thank
coach
you.
won't be too disheartened.
Nicely weighted pass here and creating an opportunity. There's a run on the inside. The wing opts to go on the outside. The two does battle with the two. Lavaka pushed into touch by Albert Talakai for the Eagles.
Yeah, Lavaka new to the Otahu Leopards this year. De La Salle boy who's converted over from rugby union. Now in rugby union is somewhat accepted to go out, but we remind ourselves in rugby league that there's a whole lot of field rather than playing with the touchline.
Indeed, he could have come back on the inside. I thought the runner there was awaiting receipt. Well, the De La Salle College is a proud school. And really, I guess, bridging between the Mangere East and the Otahu Leopards. But the Eagles, to their credit, in control here. Half hour, 30-minute halves, I should say. That's what we're looking at here in the under-16 final. The back rower again, Pesset. Another settling run. 35 metres out, and Kalepo. That's Sasangi. Chips over the top, looking for a bounce that he might regather. In the end, it ends up in the hands of Tofa, but he's knocked it on. And a double knock on. Referee Tasker will give the scrum feed to the Leopards, I'm suspecting here. And that's the way he reads it as well. Well, look, for a proud club like Otahu, it has a decent catchment. It's over 100 years old. In fact, I think it's more like 106 years old. They are desperately wanting to get back into the Fox Memorial Championship. They were at the foot of the table last season, and as such, ended up turning out this year in Sharman Cup. Of course, everyone knows that John Ackland has gone across to coach the Otahu Leopards, and he's done a fine job. He'll be turning out today against the Bay Roskill Vikings. And the winner there goes straight through to the final. That's at the Otahu club rooms.
There are also some surprising results. Last week, Dale, maybe Corey could explain to the viewer. Most people assuming Mangere East would possibly be relegated to the Sharman. Corey, could you explain the results from last week's Fox?
Yeah, well, it was a huge result for Mangere East, wasn't it? And look, they played with a lot of confidence. They didn't look nervous at all, and in the end, it was crucial. It went down to the wire a little bit with Glenora and Te Atatu, but Mangere East survived.
And Te Atatu, sadly for them, they fought really hard to get into the Fox. Spent one season there, as can sometimes be the case. And they'll be... I'm hesitant to say back to the Sharman. You know, the Sharman's a proud competition in its own right. So it's not like a demotion, but of course the top 10 teams play up for the Fox. And into the second tier, I suppose, would be a bit more polite way of describing it. Back to this action, though, we're 6-4 in favour of the Eagles, and that's not a mistake so much as the ball awkward, and now the Otahu Leopards, they've towed it forward to Semesi Tapa. Looks as though he might have scored next to the posts.
Hey, I've got to take my hat off to both halves from both teams. They're showing a very mature approach to controlling the game. Each kick from both sides have found space in between the fullback and in between the wingers. And this occasion, it showed the effort from the whole squad to follow the ball up.
It's called a knock-on anyway, Lewin, but I do take your point. The kicking game of these young halves has been very good. The referee Tasker will ask the Eagles to back up. For a moment there, I thought that Semesi Tapa had made good, but not so. So the Eagles still with the football. This is a solid run and into some space. And a decent chase. And the number 2 is wrapped up after some considerable effort too by the Leopards defenders. Albert Talakai to play the ball to his opposite number, Wolf, who comes across from the right wing, and now it's out to Tupolotu. He gets himself across the halfway line. Solid D from CK, the centre for the Leopards. Some good couriering of the football at the moment of 14 on is Ioelu. That's Cirila Ioelu, who's up to play the ball to Kalepo, keeps it alive down the right side onto Malama. Ten Charlie Malama, just outside the 40. Some enjoyable footy here at 18 minutes. This is beautiful football down the right side. The 16 back on the inside. Thought that went forward anyway.
Knock on.
And it's a knock on. 16's Timothy Gribble. And he put a clip on too down the right edge. No doubt about that.
Knock on, boys.
Still returning back with a big smile on his face, even though the last option of that play, we see down here a nice slide of hands.
Hold your second row.
And a knock on. You know,
Unfortunate.
I thought maybe it was forward Lewin, but I think the ref was going to allow that one to go if it had have stuck, but it didn't, of course, in the scrum now for the Leopards. So just backtracking a little, if you've just joined us, Pesce scored after 5 minutes. An easy try for the back rower for the Eagles from right in front of the posts and off the back of a scrum. There's some fine hands on show there from the Leopards, and then a little offload. Well, I don't know that it was absolutely necessary, but it's certainly entertaining. And Lavaka gets hold of the ball, tries a bit of hot stepping, but he's nailed in the tackle of Kalepo, 15 metres from his line.
Yeah, the big man, he's got the ability to hold the football with one hand. And even though it was the first tackle, if there's an opportunity, something will present. Maybe next time it'll be a bit wiser to hold on to the footy.
There's a spinning effort from Satella.
Out there, that's 4.
So evenly matched, these two teams at the moment, Corey.
Yeah, and look, both teams look pretty keen to go wide early. It's a dangerous habit to get into, so you got to win that middle first.
Well, there's a bit of flamboyance on show here and some solid D as well. And the Ellerslie Eagles driving the Leopards attackers across touch here on the southern touchline.
Come here, boys.
So we're coming up to the 20-minute mark, and it will be an Eagles feed. Got plenty more scoring, I'm suggesting, to come over the next 40 or so minutes. But real arm wrestle here in the final of the under-16s.
I feel that you're on the money there, Corey, where the teams are trying to get on the outside of one another rather than dominating the middle. Forward packs look like they have some decent size about them, and once the forwards start going, moving forward, then the hookers get to come out a bit and play through the middle rather than trying to go around one another.
Here's the feed. It'll be Ellerslie, just a few metres inside their own half. The ground, I might add, is in absolutely beautiful condition today. With 5 games on it, so again, big ups to the ground staff. And that's a poor end initially. I thought it must be a knock-on as the Leopards also appeal to the referee.
Brandon Tasker reckons it was off his foot.
Iolu now, he's 42 metres from the line to Kalepo. He'll come down the short side and pick up on Christian Tupolotu, and then it's Te Pololo. Stepping on the inside, Tupolotu, he's away from 1-2, make that 3. Terrific run from the centre. He's in to score about 10 to the left-hand side of the posts. The Eagles are in again.
I feel that the Otahu Leopards there were still in frustration from that initial missed call of a possible knock-on. However, it's newspaper nowadays, and their centre, the 3-quarter, Tuipolotu, has found himself scoring their second try for the Ellerslie Eagles.
I thought for a moment he'd got it through to the fullback, but in the end, as you'll see, it was just all class from this individual, the centre. Beautiful step there, back on the inside, elusive running, and a fine swerve, beautifully balanced runner. And despite the chase down from Aitaua, the halfback, he's in to score just to the left-hand side of the post, so pretty skillful play. So we're getting the thought now that Tupolotu, and apologies if we've got numbers back to front. So the 4 listed was Samuel Kamu. Now we are told that they have changed jerseys. So I've credited the try to the wrong man, but you get the drift. Sometimes we're dealing with that in the commentary position. Young teams who aren't familiar with having their games covered in this way can sometimes furnish us with the not completely accurate team lists. So apologies there. The try scorer indeed was Samuel Kamu.
That's correct, Dale.
Thank you. So I'm done with you, please, Corey.
Yeah, kind of hard to get a feel on who's dominating this one. Both teams trading blows. A pretty open game, but high quality.
So the number 1 to restart us here. 22 gone, 12-4 scoreline. Slipped there too, just short of the 20.
Oh, release him! Off the head!
down the right side. Well, last week we were confronted with a situation as well, Corey, where one of the players had the surname Sione, Sam Sione, I think his name was, from Mount Albert. And of course, he was a blondie. And I'm looking at him, I think his name was Flynn McLennan. And but who are we to say that blondies can't have the name Sione? So we just rolled with it. But in the end, we had a bit of a discussion, thinking, look, maybe we've got that wide of the mark. But hey, we're doing our best. We certainly have a great deal of respect for these guys. You know, young guys, too many nowadays are preoccupied with technology. They're not out playing sport. These guys train hard Tuesday, Thursday, experience the camaraderie and the networking opportunities that team sport provide. And so it'd be fair to say it's easier to stay at home, sit on the couch and play with your PlayStation. So these guys have got big ups for these kids.
Let's also remind ourselves of the player drain, the big problem that's happening to Auckland Rugby League and in fact NZRL in general. The bulk of players that keep leaving our shores year in, year out to try and promote themselves or develop themselves over in Australia predominantly with other clubs.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't just go over for the league. You know, they've seen the bikini shots of the Gold Coast and a lot of them head there for that reason, Corey.
Yeah, that's right. Plenty to like about Australia. And but look, some amazing talent that is remaining here. And obviously we see it progressing through into the Fox and Sharman competitions as well. So plenty of nice homegrown talent on display. And we're going to see some more later today.
Of course, the Auckland Rugby League, we're at a heady time, aren't we? There's talks of sales of the Warriors and then no sales. And I mean, that thing's going on and it's running hot at the moment. The Auckland Rugby League want to get a slice of the pie. You've got a bloke who says he's... I'll put an offer on the table. It's been a bit strange this week because a lot of that business negotiation has been playing out in the media and it's not normally where deals are done. There's even a suggestion the public could kill in and buy the Warriors as well.
I've got 5 on it.
I've got $3 or $4 myself. I'll have a go.
Don't touch the marker.
Just reminding you, scoreline 12-4. This is an intriguing battle. It's the under-16 Auckland final. High, 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 and down it comes. And the Eagles, wow, they've swamped the taker on the far side of the field. And that man's Simisi Ngowe. And the Ellerslie Eagles looking pretty good. Is there any wind to talk of today, Corey? It doesn't feel like it up here in commentary, but at ground level, any team favoured by wind gusts?
No, look, there is a little bit of wind around, but it seems to just pop up occasionally. I don't think it's going to give any team any real advantage today, but we have seen both sides struggle a little bit with the high ball so far, Dale.
Thank you, Corey. Corey Rosso with us sideline.
Out.
The husband boys in the commentary. Me and him here. This guy's got the ball now. Antonio Wolf. Growling his way forward to the 25.
Don't hold him. He's holding.
That's good, D.
After this.
You know, really enthusiastic. And this is the sort of work that is inspiring. Let's see if they can put on another quick tackle. They do, the Leopards.
Tackle 3.
Let's also remind ourselves, Dale, that these are 30-minute halves. So sometimes a team that scores...
Here's the three. Here's the three.
Tackle 4. Leave the marker.
Kamu, the try scorer. And that ball's been played, but it wasn't got to, and it's called a knock-on.
Knock on. Gun hit.
Yeah, where I was heading to, Dale, just reminding the viewers that we're only 30-minute halves, and usually the team that goes in before half-time gets sort of an advantage. I'm not saying to take out the game at the full-time hooter, but has that front foot.
Well, what it does suggest is the need for a really sharp focus defensively in the 5 leading up to the break, and certainly the 5 coming off the back of the break as we see the Ellerslie Eagles number 7 warming up sideline after taking that knock about 15 minutes ago. The Leopards with it, 6 is Taunga, 15 from the line, good D, put on him by Tupolotu. So trying to push forward. I've been very impressed here by the Eagles' attitude, and Joe Tapuola, the coach, assisted by Joe Kalepo, will have to be pretty pleased with what they're seeing here in the final. I think the crowd are enjoying themselves as well on the far side of the field. The ref's having a good game. All in all, a great stage setter for our big afternoon of finals and semi-finals football here at Mount Smart number 2. Now, you're most welcome to come on down. There's going to be some terrific games. Scheduled kickoff times, 12:45 for the Fox, Mount Albert Howick, 2:30 for Glenora up against Point Chev. Winner through to the final. Now this ball is rolled end over end and will go dead. And so the restart on the 20-metre line. Chased down there by Tamati Gribble, jersey number 16 for the Eagles.
I'd just like to get the chance to acknowledge both coaches. Dale, they are fathers of players in both squads. For the Ellerslie team, Joe Tapuola, that's his boy number 10, Jairus Glamazina, who's represented the New Zealand under-16s and is also signed with the Warriors development team. And over to the Otahu Leopards, David Tonga, that's his boy Sam Tonga, who's he's coached since the under-6s, so 10 years of support junior rugby league.
Thank you. And through the middle, looking for a shot is Nathaniel Sasangi. He's on the halfway line of the Eagles, got something to deliver up just before the halftime hooter. Wide, Malama gets the ball out to Talakai. He'll step back on the inside. Deemed to have gone forward though. Call from the touch judge. And referee Tasker having a good game here, as we'll pack for the scrum. In fact, we won't have time for the scrum. Half-time, friends. You're watching game 1 of 5 here from finals day. This is the under-16 Auckland Rugby League Championship final, featuring the Eagles up against the Leopards. At the break here, it's the Eagles who lead by 2 tries to 1 and leading 12-4. We'll take a break and be back with you for the start of the second half, coming up very shortly. Great to have your company as we live stream finals day.
For the Leopards, try scored by Savita Pina. So 12-4 at the break.
I'll go to the ruck a little bit. I'll go to the ruck.
Kia ora watu e hoa ma, nei rā te mihi ka koutou katoa. Kia ora, welcome back. This is the ARL website, YouTube, and live streaming finals day from Mount Smart number 2. Well, its old name is Te Pāo Rarotonga. This used to be a maunga, of course, but it's since been hollowed out, and much of the scoria used to make the roads in and around Penrose, where we are based here. Wherever you're watching, as you can see, it's an overcast day here in Auckland, but yeah, little patches of sunshine coming through as well. Half time, it's 12-4. The Ellerslie Eagles leading here. This is the under-16 Auckland Rugby League final. Beside me, Lewin Husband, sideline, Corey Rosser. It's great to have your company here. I was about to say this afternoon, it's in actual fact still this morning. So the Leopards with the kickoff, 30 minutes to see who will hold the trophy aloft. And it means a great deal to these young players.
17.
Recall as a junior footballer. I really like the attitude that our junior footy players take into their games and the finals. But it's been played in good spirit at the moment. A little knock on, so that's a bit of an advantage here for the Otahu Leopards. Gives us a chance to go to you, Corey. I saw you with your ear to the huddles. What did you make of some of the all you heard?
Yeah, so look, all the talk from Otahu, it's about looking for the gaps, stop running into the middle when there's gaps on the edges, so they want to get the second rowers a little bit more involved. And for Ellerslie, it's all about running in twos. They think they can get this Otahu team with a little bit of second phase.
Okay, thank you. And Otahu to feed the scrum here, the number 9, that's Kaya Covers.
Yeah, the Leopards were here last year, and unfortunately the result didn't go their way. They played against Mangere East in the 2016 grand final. Found their way here up against Ellerslie, who last week scored a last-minute try against Mangere East to find themselves in this grand final.
Okay, so they've only just got here. Well, they seem to be the dominant force during that first 30 minutes. Let's see how the Leopards respond here. They've found themselves into decent field position. And on the far side, a powerful run to within 15 metres of the try line. Now that's Charles Lamape, I think, or a short side run here from Whakoselea. And Manasseh will play it only a metre out from the try line. Big chance they'll have a look down the right edge here as the 4 has to go towards the line. In fact, I think he's managed to burrow over. So CK is in to score for the Leopards early on here in the second half.
Yeah, what a good start to the second half by the Otahu Leopards. Semisi Seke, he's 15 years old, so next year he can still play for the under-16s. He was part of the New Zealand camp and the Warriors development, so he's someone to keep an eye out for the remaining half.
Well, there was a bit of work to be done here, and he manages to force his way across the line. Well, still 15, Corey, and a name to watch out for.
Yeah, look, the Otahu team, look most comfortable when they're playing that sort of power-based game. So I think that's where they're going to have their most luck today. Just stick to that middle and try and grind it out.
Now, this is a difficult conversion from wide out. In the background there, the Auckland Athletics Association club rooms. Beyond there, you're looking across, I guess, to the hills in the back of Papakura. Plenty of Otahu support. This is a difficult conversion, 5 metres in, 20 metres out. Strikes it nicely, there's plenty on it, but direction just a little astray. Still, positive signs early on in the second half. It's 12-8, and I think we've got a game on our hands here for the final, Lewin.
That's right, but those kicks, Dale, are sometimes crucial towards the last dying minutes of a game. Down by 4 points at the moment, the Otahu Leopards. Still with a chance, anyone's game in this under-16s grand final.
Well, it's certainly a proud club, as mentioned, Otahu. You go along each year and MC the schoolboys prize giving. It's a great pleasure of mine, and they'll be doing the same again this year.
That's right, and at 2:30 this afternoon, Dale, their top team in the Sharman Cup, their Prem's team, is playing up against the Bay Ross School Vikings for their chance to go straight to the final of the Sharman Cup,
which will be coming across live on Sky Sport, I can tell you. Finals day here with the Fox and the Sharman, Women's Rugby League also. And that's in a couple of weeks' time. So Otahu will benefit from a penalty here. Referee Tasker gives them the penalty, and the 9 will kick towards touch. In fact, maybe he'll just go. He's just waiting for one of the Eagles to get out of the way, adjusting a boot. So Covers will kick it into touch on the far side of the field. Leopards tries to pita CK. The Eagles, Pese, Kamu. 14 with it is Whakosilea. Sends it back on the inside and picks up Louis Toiava. Toilet to his feet. Good solid D put on here. I think that's on the try scorer, CK. The defensive effort from Caleb Pese covers. Finds Sitela. He's wrapped up midway, 20 and 30. Leopards just seem like they've grown a little in confidence. As Danga sees it wide, little dummy out wide as well from Tavita Pita. He's got the ball across to the 15, Laumape. Laumape's only 6 metres from the try line. Great chance here as Whakosilea goes into acting half. He's got the ball now. Pushes it across for Taonga. He's drilled that into the in goal. As we know, very skinny in goals, and it beats everyone across the dead ball line. It's an enterprising play here from Otahuhu, who seem to be high on confidence, and their attack has adjusted accordingly. Sideline with you, Corey.
Yeah, Ellerslie facing some real adversity probably for the first time in this game, so interesting to see how they reply. They need a good set here, get down there and set up camp.
Well, they need to control the set and then drill into the corners. We saw it from them in the first 5 minutes of the game, and it's proved successful for them with Pese crossing in the corner. I'm sorry, they got the advantage from punching into the corner. Pese from the scrum base. Here is the 10 on the run. This is Lamuzina. Comes with some big wraps as well, and Jairus, quick play the ball, holding up nicely back. It comes for Pese. The Otahuhu defence closes in on him quickly with Samisi Tapa predominantly. Onto the hands now, Sasangi, and then to the boot. And waiting at the back for it is Laumape. He's taken it, but plenty of pressure on, and a wonderful chase as well by Tuilesu. And Ellerslie recognise that they've got to work harder on defence, and this time around they find themselves with an advantage.
As we see in the replay here, the fullback does a good job to act as a cover for the number 15. They're playing in the wing position, Charles Laumape. But as you say, a good follow-up defending raid by the Ellerslie Eagles.
Look at that for a dropout. Plenty on it. Taken by the 7. This is Glamuzina again, and he winds up. This is an inspiring carry this time around for Glamuzina. Earns a penalty as well. The ball has been stripped. So the Ellerslie Eagles with a chance. There's 2 on offer there, but I don't know it's going to be so useful. One of the players suggesting a look at the 2. Conrad Tuua will kick this towards the southern touchline, I suspect.
We've got a word from the sideline there, Dale.
To take the 2?
To take the 2 to go 6 points in front.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure I agree with that decision. If it had pushed them out to 8 in front, yes.
I suppose the points are sometimes hard to come by in finals footy.
Well,
so when they're on offer.
Yeah, but if there's a draw at the end of the game, of course we go into 10 minutes. Then if that's not resolved in that first 10 minutes of extra time, they go to a second period of 10. And off the back of that, it's whoever finished highest on the table, is it? I think that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So I don't envisage that's where we'll go with an extra 20 minutes, but stranger things have happened in rugby league. And here is the proud jersey of the Ellerslie Eagles, themselves over 100 years old now. And there is 2 points. So we can clock down that penalty for the Eagles. They lead this one 14-8, 8 minutes into the second half. Sideline, Corey Rosser.
Look, I think Otahuhu will be quite relieved with that. They were under a whole lot of pressure there. It was back-to-back sets. I think they'll be pretty happy that Ellerslie decided to go for the 2 points there.
Any idea what the thinking might have been there for taking the 2?
Oh, look, I guess, keep things calm, just extend the lead a little bit on the scoreboard. I'm guessing that's the thought, but yeah, I'd go for the tap there.
So some pressure on here. Ellerslie survive, and they are able to get the ball from the kickoff. 25 metres out from the line. The 14 with a shove. This is Suele Uelu, and he earns the Ellerslie Eagles a penalty. They'll tap and go from the middle. Unless you can't kick it to touch, so I find that a little bit of hard to understand.
They could have even went for the 2, Dale.
As well. Well, it's a long way off. 14 is Uelu.
Tackle 2,
So now the
Stern.
Leopards to sharpen their defensive skills. Simon Collins is in jersey 17. Keep an eye out for him. He's got a heavily strapped left leg. Dummy half work from Kalepo. Little knock on. Just as the 6 got up to play the ball, and Nathaniel Sasangi seemed to have knocked the ball on.
Hasn't turned a blind eye, this referee. He's on the money with his calls today. I've been really impressed how he's controlled the game and kept his nose on these slight little mistakes that tend to pop up here and there.
Yeah, he's had a good game. Tusker. Excuse me. It's good to see young guys overseeing the young men's finals as well.
Out.
Bit of mutual respect there for players and through to the referee as well. 10 is Etoile Louis Toiava for the Leopards. Peeling away. Tofa from jersey number 1. He's now 41 metres out from the line. And the Leopards with it now. 35 from the try line. Manasseh Whakaolosia is the distributor. And this big man gets the old what fours too by the back rower Pese. So 14 and distributing. Manasseh comes across to the left-hand side. Tonga
Final there.
has it. 5th and final tackle now on the Leopards.
Let go.
25 metres out from the try line. Here they come, the Leopards building up.
Final.
Final tackle, he's got to get the ball away. So in the end, poor communication from the Leopards.
That's right, and I thought the hooker there for the Otahuhu Leopards, Kaya Cuthers, would have had a better understanding of what tackle in the game it was.
Tackle 1, Stern. Hold.
Covers there. Kaya. Because you've got to have
Tackle
Kaya
two,
now.
Stern.
Kaya. The old Bob Marley
Marcus
tune,
down,
isn't it?
10's
Same
down.
spelling. Pretty popular
Good
name
now.
too, Kaya.
Tackle 4.
As we see
Stern.
the Ellerslie Eagles now 5 short of the halfway. 10 in from the touchline on the far side. I'm sure the crowd are enjoying this. Hope you are at home. Jairus Klamazina says, hey,
Final.
give us the ball. I'll just take it straight ahead. 5th and final tackle for the Eagles. And the Leopards slow to get off. Some solid D in there from Louis Toiava. Here's the high ball. And at the back, some pressure as the Ellerslie Eagles come forward. Remember, they had a last-minute try last week to get themselves in the final. They have dominated the final thus far. This is Charles Lomape. And now the Ellerslie Eagles at the back through Tofa. And look at that D coming forward as well as Christian Tuipulotu. Drives the number 1 back. And now the Leopards slow to respond. Matty Palus, the captain. He'll want to lead by example. But the Eagles swamp him. It's the tricolours with the triple tackle effect. And it comes to the second row. Semesi Tapa. Here's an opportunity down the right side. Good run too from the Leopards. Just short of the halfway. 10 in from touch on the far side of the field. Quick play, the ball needed and delivered. Here comes Semesi Tapa. Wind up time for the big second rower. A good run of 12 metres. This is good football. That's been touched by the Eagles. Should go back to the start of the set. It will. Out it comes for Tonga. And he's to ground. No need to panic here. The Leopards have the ball. And they're looking like they're just starting to create some rhythm there, Corey.
Yeah, that's right. Starting to get a little bit of a roll on here. So back-to-back uses of the ball. Interesting to see what Otahuhu can do, but really starting to turn the screws now.
Right in front of the post, the 14 darts forward. Whakaolosia. He'll wrap it to play it quickly. Delivered on up. Full of running now. Tonga wide for Palu. Palu's away from 1. Palu's away from 2. He sees the line and he's cut down with a metre to go. Caleb Pese comes across and slams him down. But the danger hasn't finished yet. Wide out here for Otahuhu. Try scored by the 15 Lomape. The ref will call it home. We've got a game on our hands. That's 14-12. A kick to come from wide out.
Great work there once again from the captain of the squad, Sam Tonga, who thought it would be wise to hit his winger with the face ball once again and showed great hands there on the wing. Charles Laumape, even his whanaunga, Ngani Laumape, will be happy with that finish.
Well, we're assuming that's the case. We could have that clarified. Corey knows all the whakapapa lines of all Auckland Rugby League players. Corey, is this Laumape related to that Laumape?
Yeah, not too sure actually, Dale. You would assume there would be some relation there, of course, but Nani, of course, he was in action on these fields only a couple of years ago playing for the Auckland Vulcans, the Warriors reserve grade team, now an All Black, so it just goes to show how quickly things can change, eh?
I'm sure about that. What did you make of the try too? It was well constructed. You just saw the momentum starting to build for the Leopards, and they were able to maintain that. The try was scored right in front of you, and a classy piece of work with the face ball to wrap things up.
Yeah, looked well-constructed set really for them. They won the middle a couple of times, a couple of carries that left guys on the ground and then went wide, and it was nicely executed in the end. Just a shout-out to Christian Toipulotu from this Ellerslie team, the SAS College Rugby League Player of the Year. He's doing some really good things in terms of his kick chase and line speed, really leading from the front for this Eagles side.
Thank you, and thank you for letting us know these snippets of information. So certainly one to watch, Christian Toipulotu. So those are some strong credentials. Now this will square things up. At the moment, 14-12. It's a difficult kick, of course. The number 4 is Semesi CK. And we're right behind him too, watching the action from up now commentary position. Will that come around? It's come around all right. And it splits the sticks. We're locked up at 14-all. What a game we have in store here as we head towards the final 15 minutes.
The good old outswinger. Tiger Woods will be happy with that type of slice as well. Off the tee. A little left to right. You were right in position. I think you helped blow it over there, Corey.
Yeah, it's right. It was a beautiful hit straight off the boot. It always looked like it was probably going to curl home there. So lovely conversion. Look, it's a big one in the context of the game.
Sure is, 14-all. And what will happen here with 15 to play?
And especially reminding ourselves that Joe, the coach for the Ellerslie Eagles, decided to take the 2 points to go 6 in front. Now look, we're matched up.
Indeed. And what about that little tap on? I don't know if it was absolutely intended, but it certainly allows them to stay in the hunt. On the far side of Semesi Tapa, making some good inroads down that right edge as well. So just really fizzing at the moment, both of these teams, as they hear how much longer they've got. The whole season on the line here as well. In saying that too, I'd like to acknowledge all of our schoolboy rugby league. I think it all wrapped up today. And it's great right across the city. All the little fellas and the young ladies who play the game have been enjoying themselves in the schoolboy ranks. There was a little offload, but it was misdirected because the Eagles have it now. And they're 25 metres from the line as Kalepo finds a runner. Solid D as well as Louis Toiava gets into the defensive work. Out it comes to Ioelu. He's right in front of the post. 22 from the line, to the right. Sasangi has the ball, little darting run to ground with 12 to go. Right side is Pese, first receiver that's in with the ball. He'll hold it and take it through himself, but the Leopards pick him up and they drive him backwards and over the horizontal. So the penalty is awarded here.
No doubt if they went for the 2 30 metres out, then I think they'll certainly go for the 2 10 metres out. The clock actually becomes the enemy towards these dying stages of the game. Just over 15 minutes to go here at Mount Smart Stadium, number 2, in the Under-16 Championship final, where Ellerslie are locked up with the Otahuhu Leopards with the kick to come.
Well, a bit of pressure here on the young fullback. Tepulolo. Taunamu Tepulolo. 20 metres out.
Stay on the try line because the penalty was over there.
Tasker in the background. So here we go, a chance to get his team 2 points in front in the final. Of course, both teams will throw everything at it in the last 10 minutes or so, but this will allow the Eagles, who led from the start, 2 points. He strikes that one nicely. Hats off, bit of pressure on the fullback, Tepulolo, but he's equal to that.
I think that penalty come down to the slight error there from EJ, the prop forward, Ituale Louis Toiava of the Otahuhu Leopards. Christian, the snake Tuipulotu, almost called the ball from the opposite team, and the offload was given to him. Like a thief in the night.
Like a thief in the night, like taking candy from a baby. Here's the kick. Holds up, heading towards touch. It's taken here by Ellerslie. And Junior Tuilesu has the football to the 30.
Let him go.
It's 15 in from the northern touchline. And now the Leopards, recognising they are in danger too as we look to swing into the back
Let him go,
10
Leonard.
minutes of the game.
Leave him fight.
Down the right side, Pesce with another powerful run. The back row has been very good today, forcing Fakolo Celia to make the tackle. And a forearm in the tackle. It's the first example of anything untoward, really, that I can recall through the game.
In the earlier rounds of the year, Dale, when Ellerslie come up against Otahu, they went down both times. So if they come through with victory this afternoon, it'll be a great feat.
Well, they forced their way into the final, as you mentioned, with a last-minute try last week. Would have come into today perhaps feeling like they were the underdogs, but they've certainly been very good. As Glamuzina comes again. He's whacked to ground too by Louis Tuiava. Solid D and a good carry as well, the two 10s combined. And there was a collision that scored 20 on the Richter scale. 30 metres out from the try line now, and the Eagles on the roll. This is Malama. Tan Charlie gets the pop away late. Out to the number 8, to Bo, right in front of the posts. 16-14. And another chance to get 2. Player down. Slowly to his feet. It's Temple Kalepo. I'm picking that from what we've seen so far, they might be tempted to have another shot for 2. Let's.
No attempt to use the arms. You tuck the shoulder and win in, okay? You want to take the 2?
Hearing there from the referee, Martin Tasker.
Yeah, he's deeming that this was a shoulder barge here, which I didn't really see.
In fact, apologies, just call him Martin Tasker. He's a reporter on One News, isn't he, Corey? Well, it does the sailing or something, doesn't he? This is Brandon Tasker. Apologies there.
That's right, yeah. I'm sure they're probably related somewhere along the line. But look, interesting decision here to go for the 2 again. Not really sure what this achieves. And I'm pretty sure Otahu are going to be pretty relieved that they're going for it.
So 16-14. The fullback's been pretty good from close range. Do you think he'll be okay here with another 2 points? That is, it's away. The old commentator's mocker, eh?
I almost said that he brought his golden boot today. He hadn't missed one.
Well, I better give myself an uppercut because, well, it seems like such a straightforward one. Missy Tittle, the outcome there. 16-14 is the scoreline. Here's the left foot kick. It's a wonky old kick too, if you ask me. Comes back to Sasangi. He'll find 15. This is Neri Falefa. So he gets the quick play the ball to Tupulotu. Manages to get the pop pass out to Kalepo. Good carry for Kalepo to the 30. Otahu, end of the ground. 9 to play in the final. Tupulotu with it. 20 metres from the line. Out it comes through to Ua. He's got the ball. Slices them almost through to Ua. Wrapped up in the tackle of Fakor Celia. Far side of the field. It is open. Back on the inside. Here come the Eagles. Glamuzina again, getting the pass out wide to Tu'ua. This is the 5th and final tackle, as you can hear from referee Tasker in the background. Tu'ua slow to his feet. The big chase is out by Otahu. And it comes to Pesce. Pesce towards the line. And he won't get there. The Leopards wrap him up. The Leopards ball a metre from their own line.
Yeah, I almost cringed when I saw one of the defenders of the Otahu line blitz out of the B marker. Unfortunately, Ellerslie didn't get to expose that gap that was open. Once again, Otahu relieved of no more points going against them.
So Davida Pita, you need to really use him. He's got some speed to burn his covers. Kicks towards the touchline on the far side. 40 metres out from their own line. Otahu with the football, 8 to play. Here's the haul. It's Louis Tuiava, big. Etsuale, nice carry across the halfway line. Little dummy from the 14. Manasseh to the 40. Tackle 2 though, and some good meterage being gained here by the Leopards. Now for Tupper. Tupper steadied and put away by Clayton across the top. The play the ball finds Taunga. He'll hold it up, pushing it wide for Palu, the skipper. Still alive out wide. This is Tavita Pita.
wide.
Tackle number 4, dummy half work for Laumape. He's away, Laumape from 1. Stepping back into the traffic, and he's shut down in a sandwich tackle from the Ellerslie Eagles. Big chance here for the Leopards. Back it comes to Tofa. He'll keep the ball alive. Tonga puts it up. The Leopards are chasing on the far side. The ball's been knocked back. It's still alive. The Leopards can't get it back on the inside. Wonderful defence. The referee will go and talk with his touch judge on the far side. Let's have a listen.
Oh dear.
I've got what you've got because I just thought the ball was
Sweet. Okay, boys. So it's knock on from Ellerslie's jumpers. Taken out by Thing. Scrum here.
Scrum and the Leopards feed. Good skills on show from our whistleblowers as well. And the Leopards get the feed, 10 out from the line.
That's right, and it was nice to see that he communicated with his sideline referee. They both had the same whakaaro, they both had the same idea, thinking that the jumpers from Ellerslie accidentally knocked the ball forward. That's why we're seeing Otahu pack the scrum down 10 metres out.
Otahu supporters will be fancying their chances, 6.5 to play. Out it comes for Tonga. Tonga darts towards the line. And he has taken a heavy knock. The defence was solid as, and he hasn't moved. Corey, did you sight it well? He's now to his feet now.
Yeah, I think it was disappointment more than anything medical there, Dale. But Otahu, they got Ellerslie on the ropes. Ellerslie's first up contact's gone away completely in the last few minutes. They've got them here if they're good enough.
Knock on here. Scrum.
Ellerslie feed. Well, good skills on show here from both teams.
We might be able to see another replay there. I think Tonga actually went through the gap. If he had another little look-see, he had his fullback coming up outside of him. He had the number 1, show and go. If he had another look, popped it there.
So the opportunity was there. Tofa was just on the left-hand side of Tonga. And now the scrum feed here for Sasangi. Young Natty takes it out. Just need a steady hand here. Control the set for the Eagles. They're up 16-14. Coming into the last 5 minutes of play. Far side of the field. Good defence put on here by Semesisike. Good crowd in here watching the 16th final, as they should too, coming up as well. I remind you, 12:45 kick-off time. A stripped football. Frustration building here for the Leopards as they look at the clock. They just need some mistake-free football will get them home, you'd have to think. The Ellerslie Eagles, they want to control the set. Punch the football into the corner. Chase hard. Try and force an error. Control the pace of the game and the field position. It's been a wonderful contest here. A couple of penalties, really. The only difference, 3 tries to 2, but a couple of penalties as well to boot here for the Eagles. Sees them in the box seat as we go into the last 4.5 minutes of play. Tulesu, 5 short of the halfway line. Sasangi wants a quick play the ball. He calls for his teammate to deliver and has now. Neri Falefa driven back. So some solid D put on show there by Tonga and Pita. Short side play, Eagles.
How there?
Tupolotu. Quick play the ball, 42 metres from the try line. The Eagles, this is Pese, Caleb Pese. Trying to find his way through the middle.
Tackle fourth.
Wrapped up by Tapa, fourth tackle, as you can hear from Brendan Tasker. Ua, the cut-out ball is long, but it has drifted forward. Tasker says, come on back. And there's Ellerslie thinking that they're in to score, but not so. It was an early call by the referee. I don't think the fans from Ellerslie have got anything to be too frustrated by.
It was nice to actually even see them finish it off. They got there in the end, even though the whistle was blown earlier. Johnny on the spot, our Wahine Tachi on the sideline, called the forward pass early.
I think that was an accurate call too. And I'm sure some of the Otahu defenders dropped off when they heard the whistle. So on the far side, yes, they've got some numbers.
Passed before the line, caught before the line.
I think you're being a bit generous to the Ellerslie attack. They still are in the box seat here for the final though, and they're really getting into their work.
Then go Sammy.
2.5 to play. Desperate times for the Otahuhu Leopards. This is
Yes,
Matthew
let's
Palu.
go.
He's the skipper. Can he lead by example? Another penalty. Danger times here now for the Eagles. Otahuhu should get themselves within 30 metres, and they decided to take a tap. I think that's crazy. There's 20 metres for free. Why the fullback Tofa decided to take the tap and go is absolutely beyond me.
It was almost instruction from the sideline there, Dale. I saw the whole management
Out there, stand now.
doing the old quick tap routine.
Not sure I agree with that, but still I'm not out there. This is a good run. This is Samisi Tapa. He's 20 metres out from the try line. We are 2 minutes from full time. Out it comes for Tonga. Tonga will come wide and he picks up Tavita Paki.
Good tackle.
Tavita
Don't work
Pita,
him.
excuse me.
That's
Pita
ball.
has it now. Just inside touch. Fed on. The second rower. The skipper will take it upon himself to get to field position. He is only 8 metres from the try line. It's the fifth and final tackle, and he's pushed back an extra couple of metres, 12 out. It's the final tackle here, and the ball has gone to ground. Pressure from Tuua, and it's a knock on. It's an Ellerslie scrum feed. There's the hooter in the background, and it is full time. And the winners here in the under-16 Auckland final, the Ellerslie Eagles. They beat the Otahuhu Leopards by 16-14. What a finish. And look at these young men in jubilation.
Dad, look at even some of the supporters running onto the field. The security guards haven't done the greatest job, but I feel for the Otahuhu Leopards, who had been the dominant force in the under-16s competition this year. However, Ellerslie deserve their efforts were put on display this afternoon. They did really well.
And congratulations to them. Let's go down to you, Corey, as we witness the celebration. And if there's ever a display of the emotion, of intensity, elation and disappointment, it's all on show for us here this afternoon. Your thoughts, Corey?
He's just prepping himself for the IV there, Dale. We'll give him a
Good as
chance to
gold.
breathe.
No worries. I'm sorry about that, Corey. Just taking in some of the imagery, as we all are as well. The Eagles brought great credit, and there's a couple of supporters on there doing silly things. There's one of the mums is just super excited. A little bit crazy out there when supporters make their way onto the field. And it's all on tape. I think we're okay to go down to Corey in a moment. We'll just get a bit of a feedback from him. Thanks, Corey. Well, let's go to you, mates. And firstly, with the Leopards representative, please.
Yeah, we're here with Matthew from the Otahuhu Leopards. Matthew, a heartbreaking defeat for you guys. Where did you think it went wrong?
It was probably our second half, gave away too much penalties and stuff.
At halftime, you wanted to get the second rows a little bit more involved, and that was where you probably looked like you were best in the game. Did you feel like you improved in that second half?
Nah, not really. Felt like everyone dropped a bit.
It's been a fantastic season for you guys. You must be very proud of your team despite the grand final loss.
It's been a good year.
Matthew, thanks for joining us. Commiserations.
Thank you.
Yeah, look, that's understandable there, Corey. Matthew, obviously, hugely disappointed. The number 7 for the winning side, the Ellerslie Eagles, get this win by just 16-14 is Conrad Tuua. He's sideline with Corey.
That's Conrad, how does that feel?
Oh, it's great. We've been working all year for this. Yeah, our boys finally pulled through. You know, we played Otahuhu twice in the regular season and we've come short both times. And the day it matters, you know, all the boys pulled through. You know, it just shows the Wolfpack that we built this team around.
You elected to go for the 2 on a couple of occasions in the game. Were you always confident that you would grind it out if it was a close one?
Yeah, I think going for the 2, we put the pressure back onto Otahuhu. We're not chasing the game and just playing territory. I mean, the boys, we built our team around defense. Defense, that's got us here, and it showed. It won us the game today.
Your scramble defense was fantastic today. You were able to prevent them a number of times. You obviously really backed that side of the game.
Yeah, I guess it just shows how much we wanted it. I mean, last year, we were robbed by the ARL, making top 4. So I think this is justice, and I think we just didn't want to take this chance for granted, this opportunity. And yeah, all glory to God.
It's been a big week for you, obviously the disappointment of Kelston midweek, losing that one, but you get your revenge today.
Yeah, it's always good. I know. I mean, I would have been, crying the next week if I lost 2 grand finals, but today, to captain the side and to captain the grand final winning side, feels good.
Congratulations, Conrad. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you.
Conrad Tu'ua, and a mature attitude from a young man. Congratulations to him, and indeed to the connections of the Ellerslie Eagles, to Joe Tapola and Joe Kalepo, who are the coaches, but also to all of the club administration. As I mentioned at the start of our broadcast, it's battling along a little, the Ellerslie Eagles, with the changing demography of the proud suburb it represents. But once again, we see them holding the trophy aloft. The under-16 Ellerslie Eagles squad, the Wolfpack, as Conrad Tu'ua referred to them, had a 12-4 lead at halftime. They were able to convert that into a victory, but only just, as a plucky Otahuhu team fought hard right to the end. But in the end, a 16-14 result. It's the Ellerslie Eagles who are the champions of Auckland Rugby League under-16s for 2017.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for these 2 great feats out here. And now I'd like to call on Karen to give out the medals for the match managers and referees. Okay, put our hands together for our referees out there today. Could I please have the captain from Otahuhu, please?
I'd just like to say thank you to Ellerslie for a solid game. Dear brothers, I'd like to say thank you to the supporters as well, and to our new coach and manager, AB and Dave. It's been a solid ride of you this year, and all the brothers too, solid boys. I'd just like to thank our sponsor, Kiwi Carloads, and ARL for making this happen. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for the runners-up. And just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, please stay seated. We will ask the boys to come over to you. We don't want you coming over onto the field. Thank you. ladies and gentlemen. Now we'll hear from the winning captain from Ellerslie.
First of all glory to God for the game today. Thank you for watching over us. So none of us left with permanent injuries. I'd like to thank our club secretary, Sandy and Daryl, all their work behind the scenes. Their work doesn't go unnoticed. To Ellerslie, to Otahu, thank you guys for the tough game. Third time now. No better position or better team to play in the final. And to my boys, that's all day. Yeah.
So boys, first of all, it's like give all the glory to God. Give the thanks to the parents. Come to our trainings day in, day out. The boys throughout the season we will be working hard. Putting in the hard work. So thanks to the boys over here. Keep the things boys we play alongside. We're brothers. To our brothers. Thanks for the season, It's the last time playing with these boys and talented boys, Yeah, just thanks to the supporters, And thanks always to God.